Hey everybody, Tim here. I'm working on a project for a client and it's a simple little animation showing some assembly of a drawer and within that assembly they have these screws running through this plastic part into the front of the drawer. And what I want to do, I want to show a little arrow with these screws, and when the screwdriver turns and the screws turn in, I want to show a little arrow that it's going in a clockwise position, and I'm going to do that in HIF film. And in order to get the arrow, behind, when it swings around here, in order to get the arrow to be occluded by the screw and the screwdriver shaft, I want to have a black mat of the screw and the screwdriver shaft. So planning ahead, I thought, well, this is a perfect place to uh, use this new feature that came about in Lightwave 2020, and that is we can actually change the color of our IDs to our liking. So for instance, I'll click on this screwdriver shaft and I discovered that 12 gives you a black shaft, or it gives you a black mat, and I'm going to do the same thing on these screws. So we're good to go. I saved my screwdriver, saved my screws, because I'm going to use this over and over again in these materials and other animations and whatnot. So let's just save them now, so that when I go to use them next time, we'll have our black mats on the surface IDs. So I did that, and I think I'm ahead of the game. I render out the sequence, and lo and behold, when I bring it into HIT film to do my mask, uh, I get this, uh, which is completely different. Uh, Number one, basically all the colors are not in accordance with what VPR is showing me, and yeah, typically it doesn't really matter. I don't really care what the colors are, but in this instance, I thought that was the purpose of the surface ID, is to give you a specific color that you wanted an ID to be. And obviously, that did not happen in this case. So I don't know what the heck is the deal here. Uh, I've tried this. I'm on Lightwave 2023. I've tried it on Lightwave 2020. Same thing. Uh, it shows up in VPR, but it doesn't F9 or F10 render. You get just completely different colors. And like I said, typically I don't care, but in this particular case, I wanted these parts to be black. And as you can see, they're not. So I don't know if this is a bug or something I'm not doing right or what, but yeah. Anyway, so just sharing that with you, and if anybody has an answer, uh, well, I'd like to know about it. I know this doesn't seem to affect any of that at all. And of course, if I go into here and normalize the display, that doesn't have any effect. So I don't know. Uh, that's kind of not how I thought it'd work. I thought I was really going to be ahead of the game here and forward thinking, but it just doesn't work like I expected it to. Yeah, I mean, I thought, number one, I thought VPR was the render, and for the most part, yeah, it is. It's definitely the render. The final render is what I get here, and that's great. But what about these buffers? Let's try the object buffer once. See if that's the same. Object ID. Yeah, see, that's off too. So yeah, So anyway, that's my story for the day. Wish it wasn't the way it is, but I guess I'll just have to go in and put a mat on the objects themselves and just kind of re-render this little area here where this screwdriver works and these screws are, so I can get my black mat. All right, thanks fellas. Later.